Alright. So, Sausage Party. That's the next movie that we're going to review. We just finished doing the Suicide Squad review. We're a bit tired.
Everybody's except me.
Except for Austin.
Being a bit tired and a bit drunk is the only way you could talk about Sausage Party.
Yeah. Really. So we're going to get into this review just to give you guys a rundown. Of course, I'm Adam, your host, as always. Next to me is Evan Chung. And next to him is Mark. And then right next to Mark is Austin, who did not join us on the Suicide Squad.
So I'm fresh and willing to talk about deep ideas that this movie certainly possesses, I'm sure.
Goodness.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It brings up very relevant questions. They might have some people in the background coming in and out. Probably you can take a seat.
Coming to you live from Fighters Fiesta.
Yeah.
Woo! Circa Scenic Ethan's basement.
We're still at Fighters Fiesta at Ethan's house. Again, shout out to him for hosting us and all that.
Much love.
Yeah. So Austin's probably going to be the one that has the most energy. Quite frankly to you.
Yes.
In case you haven't noticed, I didn't do an intro. It's specifically because I'm pretty damn tired. And not on top of that, I really don't care for this movie. So let's just get right into it. So Sausage Party, guys, what do you guys think about it?
Put as much effort into this podcast as they did in the movie.
Yeah. I guess we'll go with you. We'll go around.
It was very clear within the first 5 minutes that this movie was not made for me. This movie was made for people who definitely enjoy raunchy comedy, but like stupid raunchy comedy. Like jokes that are just really dumb. And that's fine. You know, people enjoy that kind of comedy. I just happen to not enjoy that comedy. So the movie didn't really hit many high notes for me. In fact, a lot of times the movie just kind of stagnated. One of the biggest issues I had with this movie, which was incredibly apparent in like the first 2 minutes, was the fact that the characters like just swear so much. And normally that wouldn't bother me if there was like a reason for it.
Yeah.
But it seemed like these characters would just
sentence.
swear every sentence.
It was like a middle schooler who just learned how to swear.
Like,
you know,
they would just throw in, for every normal word, for every 2 normal words, there was like one F word, one, shit, one fuck, all that kind of stuff. And like, it's like, is this supposed to be funny? Like, or is it just because this is an R-rated animated movie and you are taking as much license as you can for the sheer fact that you can do this? I don't know, that's all I have to say
It struck me as like you watch those old videos from like the 40s or 50s where like the Warner Brothers animators would make special clips to show at like New Year's Eve parties and stuff. Where it'd be like Porky the Pig saying, son of a bitch or something like that. Because seeing animated cartoons swear is inherently funny. This is an entire movie where that's the joke. Because they're cartoons and they said fuck, ha 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 ha. It's...
If they had used profanity a lot more sparingly, I feel like it would have been a lot more effective. Because it would have made it even more jarring. Just to hear these talking foods in this really like saccharine environment of like this shiny ass supermarket.
Even in the opening bit, it opens with a song, and like there's a lot of lampshading that where everybody's like, we're starting the day with the song. I love the song, and it's like they're aware that they're singing. But even in the song, they're like, oh, we love to fuck, like they're swearing in this song. When the joke of the song is that they're all chipper and cheery and they don't know what horrible things await them. But, like, this movie just makes me exhausted. It makes me mentally and emotionally tired. Like, and I don't really get it. Because I like everybody more or less involved with this. I'm a fan of the whole, Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, James Franco, Craig Robinson, that whole crew, Pineapple Express, one of my favorite comedies of all time. Superbad, one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Superbad. Even this at the end, I thought that was really funny. Like, I know these guys can write snappy dialogue. They can be clever. They can be funny. But this is just the laziest thing I think I've ever spent money on. It felt like a prank, honestly. It felt like they all hung out one afternoon and said, hey, wouldn't it be stupid if we made this and people spent money to go see it? I bet you we have enough clout that we could get away with this. And lo and behold, they did.
What do you say to the people who tell us that we're putting too much thought into a movie that doesn't necessarily need a critic's viewpoint? Like, oh, it was hilarious, it was so funny and stupid, I loved it.
You can do irreverent humor well, Like, for instance, Monty Python. Monty Python, I think, is the ultimate example of irreverent humor done well. It is, for lack of a better word, also random. It's weird. You know, it is weird jokes, and the thing is weird. The rabbit kills people. Ha! You know, it's weird, and that's why it works. That's why it's funny. It can be done well. You know, raunchy humor with lots of sex and swearing and violence, you know. Again, Superbad did that really, really well. This simultaneously tries too hard and doesn't try hard enough. Mm-hmm. You know, like it's very... I think the best way to describe it is like a middle schooler who learned how to swear. Because it's like... It's a lot of empty profanity and a lot of empty sexual jabs. You know?
Empty's a good word for it.
There's nothing that makes you go like, ooh, you know? There's no like, ooh, that was bad kind of laughs. It's all like, oh, he said fuck again. Yeah, I guess hot dogs do kind of look like dicks. Huh? You know, like... It's very entry-level dirty humor.
I felt like this movie took one joke and just stretched it out into what became, what is it, a 2-hour movie?
It's almost 2 hours, and I can't believe...
I think Adam
Honestly,
said...
when it's like probably an hour and 45 minutes, it felt like I was in that theater for at least 2 to 2.5. It felt so much longer than...
Because the pacing was awful.
Yeah.
I think you said it would have made a better like short film.
Yeah.
And I agree completely. It might have been fun as a short film.
It felt like it just... They ran out of stuff to talk, like, to move the plot forward and talk about.
Like... I feel like I understand if this movie was going to be a parody. Like, oh, you know, Pixar does so many movies where it's about, what if this was alive? You know, I get that. You know what? That's not a bad concept for a comedy. You know, like, oh, what if an inanimate object was alive, but their life was constant pain because their existence was being used by people? You know,
I'm sure a douche doesn't have a very nice life.
Yeah,
honestly.
You know, like that's a good concept. There's meat there. There's
meat there.
That was funnier than like any joke in Sausage Party. Like there's potential, you know, but you have to be clever about it. You know, you can't just take a thing and add in swearing and call it a day. Like you look at something like South Park. You know, South Park Big Long and Uncut is a parody of every kind of musical trope under the sun. You know, it's got the I'm waking up in my quiet little town song. It's got the flashy, you know, Oklahoma style song. It's got the Little Mermaid, I just want more ballad. But it's funny because they put a lot of thought into how they would do it. It's a fine-tuned machine. Whereas Sausage Party feels like that one kid that had to do his project and he very clearly just threw a bunch of shit on a poster board the night before. You know? Like, so the project is submit a parody. And they went, oh shit, would it be a good thing? Animated movies, food, talks, but it also wants to fuck, and it says, it smokes weed. Got it. Bam. That's inherently funny. Good. Call it a day. You know? And it's weird, because I know that all the people involved in this can do really funny stuff. So it's baffling to me why they didn't do any funny stuff with this, you know? Like...
I wanted it to be good.
Yeah.
I was going to support this movie.
A movie to be good when you
Well, specifically, I wanted this movie to be good because I wanted to give it. I was gonna see it either way because I want to show that there's an audience for R-rated animation.
That's a fair point.
If only because like I don't really need an R-rated comedy. There's so much you can do in the animated medium that we don't take seriously as much in this country. And I feel like I just wanted to show Hollywood, like, hey, I'll pay for this. Maybe there's more you can do with R-rated.
I bought a ticket for Killing Joke. Half of that was shit, but you know what? The parts that were cool were cool.
There's potential there, and I want it to flourish. I don't want anyone to be held back by saying, like, well, we can't make it animated because
it wouldn't make money.
It wouldn't make money, and I think that's wrong. And I wanted to support this movie either way, but having seen it, it wasn't that good. Yeah. The swearing, the excessive swearing didn't really bother me. I didn't find it funny, but it didn't bother me per se. I think the movie had its moments. I enjoyed some of the interplay between the Jewish bagel and what is that? Baklava? Lavash? The lavash. I called it baklava.
I thought like I was ready for that walking in like, oh, I bet you the bagels are all going to be Jews. I bet you the gefilte fish will be really Jewish. The tequila will be Hispanic.
And the surprise performance from Edward Norton. I had no idea it was Edward Norton. Like, what is he doing here?
It's a surprisingly good voice actor.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh boy.
I was ready for. I lowered my expectations. I turned my brain off as I went into this. I was like, okay, there's going to be a lot of fart humor.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of, for lack of a better word, racial humor. There's going to be a lot of stereotypes in this movie. You know what?
Whatever.
It can be funny if it's done well. Fine. I'll lower my brow for this, and I still came out just bored.
Yeah.
It didn't go far enough. You know?
Going off of what you said, man, I got bored within the first 20 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
I actually pulled. I don't know if you guys noticed. I had my
I
phone.
noticed.
I had my phone out like
I
the
hate when
entire
people do
movie because I was just so bored with the movie. The bottom line is that for most of us, the humor was not what we wanted. And the thing is, for a comedy like that, especially with, I'm pretty sure to me that was a really weak story.
Yeah.
Like, if the story's not going to carry it, you have to have that humor. And if you don't find it funny, then it's just like, why am I even here?
Yeah, like it feels like when there's like to bring up like a middle schooler's interpretation of dirty humor, like a kid who just turned 13, and
Let's
they're
stick
like,
the hot dog in the bun. And
you know what? I'm gonna take up swearing, and it's like because the whole marketing of this movie is like, this is super raunchy. Oh my! Send mom out of the room. Like this is too extreme. Whoa, they're saying fuck and smoking weed, and it's like I've watched mainstream comedies that are so much darker, more offensive, more uncomfortable, and are better for it than this. This is weak sauce. This is something that I would watch in like middle school and be like, whoa, this is crazy. And then a couple of years, by the time I'm a freshman in high school, I'd be like, that movie is fucking lame, Like,
alright, so before we keep, because it's rather obvious that none of us really like the film all that much. Let's talk about some of the things that it did well. I think, even though the script was pretty shitty, I think that the performances were well done. Given what they were,
problems.
Yeah, given what they had to work
the
with.
voice acting was fine.
Who was the douche?
Nick Kroll.
Nick Kroll. Okay.
Nick Kroll.
Yeah, they were good.
He was actually kind of good villain. He was kind of my favorite part of the movie.
I do think that, at the very least, I guess it was creative in terms of like the whole concept of the food coming to life, and like I could give them credit for at least thinking outside the box in that respect. Yeah. They were clever with some of the food puns and characters.
Some of the puns are so fucking ridiculous.
I can't think of any other good things if I'm honest with you.
I just had a flash of me laughing at when the douche started drinking the juice box, destroying it. I thought that was really, it was really funny. I thought that was funny.
I didn't think it was that funny.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was really like, whoa! I did not expect.
I thought
that.
it was I let out a chuckle. I was like, oh, that's because the second you see the juice box, it's got like a giant hole where its dick ought to be. So it's like, oh, I get what's gonna happen. I bet you he's gonna stick his nozzle in there. It's gonna be an awkward like, oh, it looks like he's fucking. Okay, that's. Yeah, fine. But then he didn't do that. He started like violently, angrily eating it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
This is creeping me out.
Yeah, along with you, it was just like, oh, so that's where this is going.
Oh. Like laughter stops. Oh. This is being played straight right now. I'm watching a talking douche rape a talking juice box. Oh.
Evan, do you have any things that you liked about it?
Well, since we've spent the past, 13 minutes shitting all over this movie, I'll say one good thing. One of the only scene, probably maybe the only scene that got a genuine laugh out of me was when they all fall out of the shopping cart and it just becomes like a reenactment of Saving Private Ryan. I actually thought that was decently clever.
I will always laugh every single time. It's a trump card for me. I will always laugh at a parody of the Saving Private Ryan and Normandy part where it's something totally mundane, like stumbling around trying to pick up something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like this one, it was an Oreo, and something else. I remember it was like a teddy bear picking up its arm or something. It never fails to make me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I will give it that. That will always be fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like in Finding Dory.
Yeah,
they had a similar scene in Finding Dory.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
And like that's the thing. There were a couple little bits that nothing in this movie really made me. Actually, you know what? No, there was one thing that made me laugh, and that was during the climax, when he shoots the gum, when he shoots the wad of gum, and they actually licensed the Terminator song. And it does the T-1000 Robert Patrick thing where there's the big bullet hole in its head and it reforms.
Yeah, I do remember the gum guy. I like the gum guy. The Stephen
made
Hawking gum
I
mod.
actually thought that was kind of clever when he was like, I was stuck under the desk of a brilliant scientist. And I was like, you know what? That's the most clever thing in this entire goddamn movie.
God knows how gum could do that, but it was cool.
It's like that's that represents the most creative thought in this entire movie. It's like everything in this movie is low-hanging fruit. It's like okay,
Native American guy.
Yeah, Native American is named Firewater. The bagel's Jewish. The tequila has a big sombrero. Dirty Sanchez mustache. You know, okay.
Yeah.
The gum being stuck under a table of a brilliant scientist and thus becoming like super intelligent is the most clever thing in this entire movie.
This deformed wad after being chewed can't move, so it's in a wheelchair. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the issue as we had talked about is that you really don't care all that much about the characters for one reason or another, whether it be because they're food or just because you feel like they're going on this thing. I don't even want to say an adventure.
The only likable character is Michael Cera.
Which one was he?
He was the little stunted
little
one.
stump dude? I am.
Yeah, he was the only mildly likable character in the entire thing. Everybody else was a horrible... actually, no.
I was feeling for the bun.
Michael Cera and the taco. Michael Cera and the taco were the only likable characters in the entire movie.
What was wrong with the bun woman?
She was just like a stupid asshole half the time.
Yeah.
The movie has a very, very, it's about as subtle as a truck of fireworks crashing into like an epileptic convention. It's awful. It is the least subtle thing ever. It's a very heavy-handed, ham-fisted message about religion.
And like,
I guess so, yeah.
There's a lot of commentary on like Palestine.
Right. Yeah. It's like, why can't we just get along?
It's like it's like a post-renewal Family Guy episode where the message is you should respect everybody's beliefs, even though religion's super dumb, you guys. Yeah. It's like I'm not about to go like, oh, I'm offended, ban this movie, but that's just it's an annoying message. It doesn't endear me to the film. It's not like I'm gonna get up in arms about that. But it's like I don't like it when a movie feels like it's talking down to me, or when it thinks that it's smart but ends in a food orgy. Like,
I didn't find the message to be all that. I don't want to say lightning is the right word. Like
it was unnecessary.
Like think of like the Lego Movie. Like even though that movie was a lot deeper than you thought it was, and it did have a very good underlying message. And let's face it, it's not really that on the nose, considering they outright tell you that everyone's special.
Yes.
I still thought it was a lot more well done. I found it to just be better overall.
You could say that the Lego Movie is about religion in the same way this is.
And it fit into the, I don't want to say the lore, it fit into the movie well. Like, I didn't question it in the Lego Movie, whereas this one I was just like, really guys? Like, we're going to do this now?
And it comes right out of nowhere. It's not like they've built this up from the first act. It comes in like the latter half of the movie when they start bringing in the very obvious parallels of him like, well, you know what? Maybe I just can't believe what I've heard, and like, well, we told them to believe in the great beyond so that it would be more comforting. It's a comforting thing for them, but they corrupt it and make it about, what was that? The sauerkraut was talking about exterminating Jews? What was that? And it's like, we get it. We get it. But it just hammers it in super duper hard.
And that's another thing about the movie too, is that I think, like we said,
you can make a point like that, but this is not the movie to make that point.
Yeah, like we said in Suicide Squad, they literally tell you. They don't even show you. At one point, they just explain to you, okay, so this is what this movie's about, which is when they explain the song and why they even did everything. It's like, come on, guys, like, we're smarter than this. Like, why don't you, like, show us what's going on instead of just telling the main character, oh, this is it.
I hate to say this, but we're smarter than this. Yeah. I cannot guarantee that other people who watch this movie are. And they're clearly appealing to them, almost pandering to them.
I have seen reviews that say this movie's a lot smarter than you'd think. It's got a really enlightening message behind it.
Yeah,
it's like
same.
Maybe it's just because we're into media.
Yeah.
We're looking at stuff like this all the time. I know I probably sound super smug right now. Like maybe we're just smarter than everyone else, but like
not like to circle jerk ourselves.
Exactly, but like metaphor in this movie was very, up against the glass. It was right in front of you. It was in your face about it. It was not subtle in the slightest. I can understand someone who has not seen a lot of content like this,
Mm-hmm.
thinking that it's original
cool.
or subtle. You're like, oh, I guess the food is kind of like people. You know, like, okay, but at the same time, man, this is not subtle in the slightest.
It's I don't know.
You know, like,
It just wasn't that great of a movie, and I can understand that. Different humor, you know, some people, one person might find funny, another person might not find at all funny.
Mm-hmm.
But it just
there's ways to make this kind of thing funny.
yeah.
You know, like I can't say like, oh, weed humor's never made me laugh, because I love Pineapple Express. I will laugh out loud every single time I watch Pineapple Express. You know, it's like sex humor doesn't make me laugh. You know, swearing doesn't make me laugh. I'll watch South Park, Big Long and Uncut, and lose my shit. I'll watch it by myself and lose my shit. I'll look like a crazy person. You know, there are ways to make this funny. This movie just didn't do any of that.
See, it might have been because a lot of viewers came in hoping to watch a movie called Sausage Party and weren't expecting anything deep, and I guess you could say it had a deep message.
Something.
I didn't even know what to expect. I figured it was gonna suck. I didn't know that it had a really good Rotten Tomatoes score.
All I wanted, because I heard it was really good in terms of being funny. I wanted to see good comedy, and that's not what I got.
I was expecting it to suck. I was expecting it to be totally mediocre on the level of like an Adam Sandler movie. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'll go on. I'll lower my expectations. I'll turn my brain off, and I was still disappointed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I walked out and I didn't know what the hell I just watched. It felt like someone played a prank on me.
Yeah. All right, so,
you know?
so let's talk about some other things in the film. I'll be frank. I thought the animation was not horrible, but I've seen far better animation.
It was okay.
Considering it's not Disney or DreamWorks, fine.
I thought the food was fine. It was the people that kind of messed with me.
The designs of the people were kind of
Reminded me of Mr. Meaty.
Yeah. I thought I will admit this is one other thing that got a slight chuckle out of me is whenever they called attention to that all the food looks like the let's all go to the lobby guys. So like a lot of them will have little like rubber hose like Mickey Mouse gloves and shoes, you know?
Yeah.
And whenever they called attention to that, like, oh, you and your little shoes and your gloves, like, it's like, all right, that's kind of funny because that's clever. That requires you to take one step back and point out, hey, the cartoon characters are wearing gloves. What's up with that?
I agree.
You know?
I also like the manager dude. Before the climax, like I liked when they called attention to how like not ambivalent, apathetic he was to the world and his job. I thought that was kind of funny.
I was gonna say the best line in the movie is Paul Rudd saying "fuck you, weenies" and then throwing out a package of hot dogs. That's the funniest line in the entire movie. It's all because of how Paul Rudd says it.
Anyone who works a minimum wage job or anyone who just hates their job will identify with that character.
Yes.
We've all had shitty jobs that we didn't like.
We've all had Nick Kroll force himself up our ass and then control us by yanking on our ball sack.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
like this is also a movie where like I get that they're kind of trying to go for shock.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it just went on for far too long. Like the ending, like food orgy. I was like, okay, I guess this is where we're going. And it went on for like 5 minutes. I was like, guys, like I get it. Like you're so edgy.
That's the thing about shock, is it's got to be quick. You know, it's got to catch you off guard because if the second you acclimate to shock, it's not shocking anymore. If that food orgy scene was maybe a minute long, it would have worked perfectly.
Really? You were enjoying it the first minute?
I wasn't enjoying it. I knew that it was coming because the script leaked around St. Patrick's.
Oh yeah, I felt very uncomfortable.
So I knew it was coming.
Oh.
If I didn't know it was coming, and it started like, it gets ridiculous. It might have gotten a laugh out of me just because like this is so stupid, this is so absurd.
Right.
It's cranked it up to 11. But if you leave it at 11 for too long, you're able to acclimate, and it becomes normal. And if it becomes normal, then the joke doesn't work.
I've heard people say they loved the climax and they were laughing the whole time.
Like I get that it's supposed to be like this parody because at the end of every anime movie, there's always a dance number or something. I get
Is that what that was?
Oh,
okay. I didn't get that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a
Okay.
parody of that. I get it, but as
That's
Mark
kinda
said,
cool.
like eventually, it's just like man, I don't need to see, you know, this. I don't need to see a bun get like gangbanged or like.
I thought that was
There's only so many times where you could be like, okay, I get it. Hot dog goes into a bun. It's like a dick in a veg. All right, I get it. You know.
And they're not even subtle about that. As soon as you look at the bun, I'm like, all right, that's a vagina. Like.
Yeah, it's got like a weird side mouth.
Yeah.
It's like I get it. I get it.
You're so cool.
I get it. You know, like one of their first lines is he's just like, "Oh, I want to get all up in you," and it's like, I get it.
Maybe.
I get it. You know.
We'll just touch
The lesbian
tips.
taco.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
Touch tips.
Get
Yeah.
it.
lesbian taco.
Get it, because taco looks like veg. Get it, tacos. It's the most base level humor. It's like you could write this entire movie from scratch in one trip to the supermarket.
Yeah,
you know,
you could.
There's nothing cinematography wise that ever blew me away.
No.
There's nothing that
that shot of the ass was pretty good. I can still get up in that. That was pretty good.
Not to mention that, as in your review on your site, Mark, like there's a ton of things in this movie that are inconsistent with the world that they already developed.
Yeah.
So let's say we have. You remember how in the Saving Private Ryan scene, right? They had the grape jam, and there was grapes, right? And the grape jam died, and peanut butter was really upset about that.
Yeah, we're gonna fix you.
But how many? So is grape jam was alive. How many grapes had to die in order to make grape jam? How does that work? How many peanuts had to die in order to make peanut butter? Why can condoms and toilet paper be sentient but not knives or like the shelves or like the cookbook?
That's the thing. Like I was thinking as I was writing the review, I was thinking like, am I? The whole joke of that review is that I nitpicked the shit out of it because it left me so broken and confused.
Yeah.
But that was the point where I was like, am I nitpicking this too much? And I thought, no, because other movies where the thing is, the inanimate object is alive. You know, Toy Story, Cars, they have rules. They have clear-cut rules. Toy Story clearly establishes, like, no, toys are the only thing that's alive. Video games aren't alive. Chairs aren't alive. Toilet paper's not alive. Only toys are alive. All right, we don't need to know why, but there you go. It plays by its own rules. You know, Cars. You know, it's like buildings aren't alive. Only vehicles are alive. Fine, great, got it. You know. Yeah. But like this, I guess if you really wanted to really defend this movie, if this is really the hill you wanted to die on, you could say that by the end they admit that it is a cartoon being made by a bunch of high people.
Yeah.
Basically.
So you could just say, fuck it. Even in universe, it is a stupid cartoon that makes no sense. And I guess that absolves it of everything, I guess. I guess it's a masterpiece, you know? Like,
yeah.
But it just feels, if I describe it in one word, it would be lazy.
I know the one thing that you hate is when they start playing Meatloaf because you saw.
I didn't really hate that. I thought it was good in a grown-worthy kind of way. Okay. That was the all right. You watch yourself though, Sausage Party. I'll allow it this time.
Yeah. I honestly don't even have
the Meatloaf gag was
alright. The movie, but for me, if you guys have anything,
it was stupid. It was so stupid.
I wanted to say that like the ending of this movie I felt was really lazy because they had an opportunity to make a really good meta joke.
Yeah.
And it just fell flat on its face. They find a vortex where they can meet their creators.
Oh yeah.
And the way I wanted the whole
I want to see if you're picturing the same end joke that I was.
Well, we'll see. I wanted to
I want to see
picture once they enter the vortex they show what happens and I was expecting like all this blinding white light and there's like a hot dog and a bun just fall.
I was literally gonna say
like
that.
Seth Rogen's and James Franco.
I was literally gonna say that.
And you got Seth Rogen, holy shit, I found a fucking hot dog! And like, then like, you see
eats it, end credits.
And they're just eating like edibles and shit, and like, I just say, fucking like, Seth Rogen just looking at the hot dog, eating it in the buns, like, hey James, wouldn't you think it'd be funny if we made a movie about like, sausages being alive?
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be the funniest thing ever. You know what I mean?
And then cut to white text on black background credits, and the whole credits, there's no music, there's just
yeah, like just James Franco and Seth Rogen just laughing at their own joke. I thought that would have been good.
That would have redeemed the entire movie.
Yeah,
for me. If this whole thing was one long build up to one big middle finger of a punchline, loved it. I would have given this an instant 10 out of 10. Beautiful.
Why?
But no, it ends. You get to the end and you go, oh, you're serious. Oh, you're looking to build a franchise off of this.
Oh, I hope not. I really hope not.
Rumor has it that the sequel is going to be like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where it's the characters with the real actors. Like,
I hope that they know that. I don't know. I guess if they will critically, it probably made money.
It'll probably be made. It made like 3 times its budget.
But before, you guys have anything else you want to say?
Yes, I wanted to point out another missed opportunity for the film. The food discovers that bath salts are the key to interact with humans. Somehow bath salts gives humans the ability to interact with the fourth dimension, the one that the food and their characters inhabit.
Yeah.
And I thought what they were going to do was they were going to once the joke with bath salts is everybody some dude always eats someone's face, and I thought that because bath salts were the key to seeing food as people, that anyone who gets high on bath salts gets so disgusted that they're eating children just flips out and eats a human being out of guilt or something like that somewhere.
I feel like that would have been a clever twist.
That would have been clever. I'm like, well, so that's why bath salts does that, because it's a very odd effect for a drug to have.
If the end of it was like headline, Florida man takes bath salts, eats a person's face, that would have gotten a real strong laugh out of me.
I was hoping they'd do that, but nothing about that was said, and they also.
There's nothing meta about this. It was face value, shallow as a puddle. Like.
That's it.
The joke is that hot dogs look like dicks. The joke is that a cartoon character is fucking his girlfriend. The joke is that, the peace pipe has weed in it, and the Indian's just a stoner. Like, it's all.
Yeah.
It feels like it was written in an afternoon. Like.
So I want to point out also the rumors. Of course, it's not unconfirmed, but let's face it, it's probably true that like the staff on the animators are very underpaid. They're rushed.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
And I was warned not to go see it because of it.
Yeah.
I felt bad about seeing this instead of Kubo.
Yeah, I want to see Kubo, and I was conflicted because I want to support adult animation, but I also don't want to support such practices against animators.
And to be frank, this is not something that's like that rare. Like, let's be real. Most people, especially people who work in special effects, they have to rush that stuff out. There's a deadline they need to meet. They don't care if you have to work like a obscene amount of hours a week. Like, they want you to get those effects done. And it's not something that we should tolerate, quite frank with you. It's just not right. And I'm not really a fan of how this movie kind of exploited its workers in the slightest. It's not right.
Like, it didn't even exploit the workers to make something cool or groundbreaking,
Like you did to make your bathroom jokes. Like,
there's no Prince in the Cobbler or a Thief in the Cobbler. This is the lowest common denominator.
Yeah. So, do you guys have anything else to say? We can just go into ratings.
Stupid.
Overall,
I'm out.
It's stupid. It's dumb. It's juvenile, and it's pointless.
Yeah. So, and overall, like I said, this movie didn't find it funny, like almost at all. Got bored within 20 minutes, and it just felt very lazy, as we kept on saying. If this is your kind of humor, man, maybe you should see it for full price, to be quite frank with you. Like, it probably is right up your alley, and you're going to laugh your ass off. Yeah. I really didn't like this movie. I thought it was a waste of my time. It doesn't... What I want from film, even purely as entertainment, not as an art medium, it didn't fulfill any of those, and I have to give it some bullshit. Like, I would never want to watch this movie again, except maybe... Like, if I was with a friend and they really want to watch it, and I'd be like, whatever, man. Whatever, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, like...
I don't ever see myself watch this movie again. I'd probably give it maybe a 3 out of 10. Maybe a 2.
Yeah. Like, you might as well just save yourself the money and watch, 2 hours of post-renewal Family Guy. You're going to get the same thing out of it. Like... I don't know who this movie was for. Like, except for people who... took edibles and then went into the theater. That's the only audience I could see.
I wonder how they liked this.
Fully enjoying this, Yeah.
I wonder how that audience was feeling about this movie.
Because it's full of humor that only young kids who just discovered dirty humor would find funny. But it's also rated R, so those kids can't go see it. And it's like the opposite problem of Deadpool. Like, Deadpool was a hard R. But there was lots of stuff there for adults. There was good characterization. There was a strong story. There was lots of jokes that kids wouldn't get.
Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah, there's a Sinead O'Connor joke. There was an Alien 3 joke. There's the "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret" joke, which destroys me every time I watch that movie. There's a reason that this thing is rated R and that kids can't see it, but adults can still enjoy it. This movie is just pointless to the extreme.
I should, so what's your rating on, Mark?
If I had to give it a numerical one, I don't even know if I can give it a numerical one, because it's not even bad. It's like the ultimate in it wasn't for me. It was just stupid. Like, functionally, it's like, the story had a beginning, middle, and end. There were characters, there were lines of dialogue, and I more or less understood everything that was going on. It left me feeling nothing. It was like I guess if a 5 is totally average, I guess I would have to do the same as you and give it a 3 or a 2. But This movie just makes me think of like tap water, man. It's nothing. It's so bland.
Yeah, I should also add, like Mark was saying, like this is not humor. I'm okay with some humor. Like This Is the End is one of my favorite comedies of all time. I love 21 Jump Street. I love 22 Jump Street. Those are some of my favorite comedies of all time. Monty Python, as he said, Superbad. Those are all funny movies that I thoroughly enjoyed. This is not like something where I'm just like, oh, this is never my type of humor. No, like some of it is. I think some of those are genuinely the most hilarious movies I've ever seen. So, what do you think, Evan?
I don't know. This movie, like I said, it just didn't do much for me. I didn't find a lot of the humor funny. I thought the plot was kind of put together in a way that just seemed lazy and really messy. And like you said, it's not that I don't like raunchy humor. Like, raunchy humor can be done well. I guess I went into this movie hoping that this would just be an animated This Is the End, where it'd just be an extremely raunchy movie, but it was also really funny and really clever.
Because what makes those movies work so well is the chemistry that all those actors have. You could tell that half of that movie is like improvised. It's just a bunch of buddies bouncing shit off one another.
Yeah.
But in this, like Seth Rogen and Kristen Wiig, like they didn't have any chemistry.
That's actually a really good point you bring up. Yeah, there was very little chemistry between a lot of the
characters.
characters.
If this was just an animated This Is the End, it's like, fuck it. It's the same thing we saw before, but what we saw before was funny and engaging.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with repeating a formula that works.
Yeah. You know, like, if you got all of the mainstays, you know, James Franco, Seth Rogen, Michael Cera, Jonah Hill, you know, if you got all those guys in a big recording booth and recorded it like a radio drama or something, this could have been really, really goddamn funny. But, I don't know, it took a lot of people who are usually super funny and made it the blandest thing ever.
Yeah. If I had to give it a rating, numerically, I'd probably give it like a 4. That's very generous, I know. I didn't hate this movie. I just thought it was thoroughly mediocre that had more than a few bad moments that I suppose I was willing to forgive. If you're into that kind of humor, the highest I can give this is a matinee, if you're into this. But, I don't know, for me, this movie was bullshit. Like, I kind of regret watching it.
Agreed.
Wow.
Agreed.
Well, I think I like this movie the most out of this group.
He's also the most forgiving of almost everyone.
I am also the most forgiving. It definitely has to be said.
He's more Christian.
I'm very easy to please.
I'm the Catholic.
Yeah.
I go to a youth group, guys.
And Adam is not willing to forgive this.
He's more Christian than he is, and he's Jewish.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Like there were moments that I don't think I was ever quite bored during the movie, but I can't say that I enjoyed myself the whole time. I would actually give this movie, I would call it average. I'd give it a 5 out of 10. I don't think there was anything necessarily terrible that I was like, this is just, or I would really be against it. There were moments that I did enjoy, like the ones that I listed. There were some missed opportunities. I cannot agree with the animation practices either. But I don't know, it's average. It's not my kind of movie. It's not a movie made for me anyway. I haven't seen a lot of the movies that they're talking about that have employed similar humor, like Superbad, like This Is the End. I'd like to see those movies. I've seen Pineapple Express. I thought it was okay. So maybe this isn't the movie for me. I'd give it a 5 out of 10 though. It was average. It was okay.
Alright guys, well there you have it. We might do another review after this Batman Killing Joke. I don't know, I feel pretty tired to be honest.
You're gonna do another one?
We might.
Damn.
But we'll see. Just stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching as always.
Those live viewers.
I'm never gonna pretend that we're some big podcast, but if you do enjoy our content,
it's
like
viewers like you.
That means a lot.
Yeah, like
it means a lot.
Honestly, like what we're doing right now, we do what we would always do, just talk about the movie.
Yeah.
Now we record it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like we would do this anyway.
Yeah. If people want to listen, if people tune in, if people want to like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
That means a lot. That means the world.
Yeah, so a lot of us are going to be going off to school, so it's going to be a lot harder to get together and do these things kind of live-esque, if you know what I mean. I have everyone in the same room. We're going to see what we can do on Discord, like online. I'll probably have to talk to Matt, our producer, see what he can do and help us with that. But
who wishes he was here?
Yeah, if we do go MIA, we might not even be back for winter or even until next summer, to be honest with you. There's a lot of things that...
Hopefully winter.
Yeah, that we might
if
not.
If it comes down to that, hopefully winter will be.
Yeah. As always, this is also a podcast where there's an ever-rotating cast of people who come in. To be honest with you, the only mainstay is kind of me.
Yeah.
I'm the host, and I kind of own the mic.
The mic.
But yeah, just stay tuned, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
And please subscribe, leave us some comments, show us some love. Because if you're out there, as we said before, we do treat our fans very well. You might be able to,
Hell yeah! If you come up to us talking about this podcast, I might just buy you dinner.
Yeah. Also take that, do that. Also, we'll buy you dinner.
I will buy you dinner.
Win a dinner with Austin.
Yeah, that's anyone else who I can grab at the
dinner
moment.
with Austin.
Yeah.
Out there, you guys
I'll buy
have it.
beer.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys.
Thank
See
you.
ya.